You think it's just an old revolver, worn, dusty, replaceable, so you sell it. But weeks later, reality hits. Its true worth wasn't in dollars, but in history, reliability, and legacy. These aren't just guns. They're irreplaceable icons carried through wars, won gunfights, saved lives. Once gone, there's no turning back. Today we reveal the 10 revolvers you should never sell, because some regrets hit harder than any bullet. 10. Colt Python. Building on Colt's snake gun legacy, the legendary double-action revolver returns in stainless steel in a 4.25-inch barrel lengths. The Python features modern stainless steel alloys and a redesigned rear sight. 30% more steel beneath the rear adjustable target sight gives you a stronger revolver and more robust shooting experience. A recessed target crown, user-interchangeable front sight, and walnut grip with the iconic Colt medallion make this a gun you'll want to shoot and show off. The Python is chambered in .357 Magnum and accommodates 38 special cartridges. The Colt Python wasn't just built, it was handcrafted. Whether you own a 6-inch barrel model perfect for target shooting or a snub-nose 2.5-inch version designed for concealment, letting go of a Python is like giving away a piece of American gun history. First introduced in 1955, the Python was marketed as the finest production revolver ever made. Tight tolerances, hand-fitted parts, deep royal blue finishes that look more like black chrome than bluing. Why you should never sell it. Original Pythons from the 1950s to 70s have skyrocketed in value. Reproduction models are great, but collectors want the originals. 9. Smith & Wesson Model 29. The Smith & Wesson Model 29 is a 6-shot, double-action revolver chambered for the .44 Magnum cartridge and manufactured by the United States company Smith & Wesson. The 5-inch 130mm barreled variant had a full-length underlug. Finish options available included a highly polished blued or nickel-plated surface. Other barrel lengths were available either by special order from Smith & Wesson's custom shop or custom-built by gunsmiths. The Model 29 will chamber and fire .44 Special and .44 Russian cartridges, as the .44 Magnum was developed from the .44 Special, and the .44 Special was developed from the .44 Russian. The Magnum case is slightly longer to prevent Magnum rounds from being chambered and fired in handguns chambered for the .44 Special. Introduced in 1978, the Smith & Wesson Model 629 is a stainless steel version of the Model 29. The 629 model designation derives from Smith & Wesson's practice of denoting a stainless steel version of one of their already existing designs by placing a 6 in front of the model number of the original weapon. The 629 Classic variant features a full-length barrel underlug. Other variants include the 629 Stealth Hunter. 8. Ruger Redhawk .44 Magnum. Unique single-spring mechanism allows for a smooth, light trigger pull. Triple locking cylinder is locked into the frame at the front, rear, and bottom for more positive alignment and dependable operation shot after shot. Easy sighting with readily replaceable colored front blade sight insert and adjustable rear sight with white outline. Rugged stainless steel construction with no side plates is designed specifically to handle powerful Magnum loads through extra metal in the top strap, sidewalls, and barrel mounting areas. Transfer bar mechanism provides an unparalleled measure of security against accidental discharge. .44 Magnum models are dual-chambered to also accept factory .44 Special cartridges. .357 Magnum models are dual-chambered to also accept factory .38 Special cartridges. Introduced in 1979, Ruger engineered the Redhawk to handle hotter .44 Magnum loads than Smiths of the same era. Why you should never sell it. Ruger's overbuilt design philosophy means it'll outlast you. Ideal for hunters, outdoorsmen, and bear country. Older Redhawks with original grips and finishes are gaining collector value. 7. Colt Detective Special. The Colt Detective Special is a 6-shot, carbon steel-framed 2-inch (5.1 centimeters) or 3-inch (7.6 centimeters) barreled double-action revolver, and the first example of a class of firearms known as snub-nose revolvers. In 1996, lackluster sales saw the elimination of the Detective Special from the product line. The Detective Special uses a slightly smaller frame than the Colt Official Police or Smith & Wesson Model 10 K-frame revolvers, but is larger than the 5-shot Smith & Wesson Model 36, Model 38, Model 42 J-frame revolvers. From its introduction, the Detective Special used Colt's positive safety lock, hammer block, first featured on the Police Positive. The mechanism interposes a bar between hammer and frame until the trigger is pulled, preventing accidental discharge if the hammer is struck, e.g. if a dropped gun falls onto its hammer, with the trigger forward. Small frame, big reputation. The 2-inch barrel Detective Special was the concealed carry revolver before concealed carry was cool. Modern polymer pistols come and go, but the Detective Special never goes out of style. Why you should never sell it. True piece of law enforcement history. Pre-1972 models with exposed ejector rods are especially collectible. Classic Colt bluing and craftsmanship. Smith & Wesson Model 19. The Smith & Wesson Model 19 is a revolver produced by Smith & Wesson that was introduced in 1957 on its K-frame. The Model 19 is chambered for .357 Magnum. The K-frame is somewhat smaller and lighter than the original N-frame .357, usually known as the Smith & Wesson Model 27. A stainless steel variant of the Model 19, the Smith & Wesson Model 66, was introduced in 1971. The Model 19 was produced from 1957, first model number stampings, to November 1999. The Model 66 was produced from 1970 until 2005. The Model 66 differed by its use of stainless steel and its smooth target-type trigger. The Model 68 was a limited production version of the Model 66 made for the California Highway Patrol and Los Angeles Police Department, chambered in .38 Special, with a 6-inch barrel. The Model 19 and the Model 66 had the same trigger options. One of the last variations of the Model 19 ordered for police use was the 2.5-inch Model 19-5, special ordered under SKU number 100701 as the standard issue sidearm for special agents of the U.S. Department of State's Diplomatic Security Service. This model featured a .400-inch wide, smooth combat trigger, Pochmeyer professional compact rubber grips, and most notably, a matte black finish instead of the common, high-polished blue. The 2.5-inch barreled Model 66 was carried by INS special agents until the mid-1990s, when the agency adopted a .40 caliber semi-automatic pistol as its standard issue sidearm. Why you should never sell it. Ideal balance of size, weight, and power in .357 Magnum. Pinned and recessed versions are collector favorites. Gorgeous wood grips and blued steel.
5 Ruger GP100, there is no doubt about it. Ruger makes great firearms. They are not always the prettiest or the lightest, but damn it, they perform flawlessly and are priced modestly. Anyone who has owned a Ruger can agree with me. As an avid shooter, these are important factors when purchasing a firearm. Hey, not everyone can afford a Kimber or Dan Wesson. Should we have to sacrifice quality or customer service for that? Ruger says no, and I agree. They sell firearms that are reliable and accurate for a modest profit and have excellent customer service. This makes them one of my favorite companies in the industry. The GP100 meets, if not exceeds, everything you would expect from Ruger, and they will stand behind their product. I once called Ruger because our P345 would shoot all over the place. I had to send it in and paid for shipping. Ruger determined that the barrel was defective. They not only sent me the gun back professionally sighted, with a new barrel, I also received a free gun lock. The GP100 is available with a few different barrel options. There is a 3-inch, 4-inch, and also a 6-inch barrel. the 4-inch barrel being the one we are using here. This gun is well built. I also have a stainless steel Smith & Wesson in 357 Magnum. After handling the Ruger, the Smith feels subpar. I'm not saying it is, but the bulk of the Ruger makes it obvious. It can handle any load fired. I admit, this is my 2 cents, but compare the two for yourself and draw your own conclusion. For me, the Ruger feels superior. The grip feels better, and the steel thicker. In a 357, these are key factors. You must trust the Revolver and also be able to hold on to it. The cylinder is well balanced and spins smooth as a Cadillac. Something that I should also point out, the cylinder walls of the Ruger are thicker than that of the Smith. Our gun featured a 6-shot cylinder 4.2 cal barrel and rear adjustable sights. Why you should never sell it. One of the most robust DA/SA revolvers ever made. Comfortable rubber grips with wood inserts. Iconic look. Shoots both .357 Magnum and .38 Special with ease. 4. Colt Single Action Army. The Colt Single Action Army, also known as the SAA Model P Peacemaker or M1973, is a single-action revolver handgun. It was designed for the U.S. government service revolver trials of 1872 by Colt's Patent Firearms Manufacturing Company, today known as Colt's Manufacturing Company, and was adopted as the standard-issued revolver of the U.S. Army from 1873 to 1892. The Colt SAA has been offered in over 30 different calibers and various barrel lengths. The Colt Frontier, or Frontier 6-shooter, was a Colt 1873 Model P manufactured in .44-40 Winchester caliber instead of .45 Colt, in which configuration it was called the Single Action Army, so that it was compatible with the new, hugely successful Winchester Model 1873 repeating rifle. Users of both weapons in the Far West appreciated the convenience of being able to carry a single caliber of firearm ammunition. Production of the Model P began in 1877. Colt Frontier 6-shooter was the actual name of the Colt pistol model, which was acid-etched on the left side of the barrel. After 1889, the legend was roll-stamped, with the designation .4440 added in 1919. Later, Colt M1878 double-action Army models also received this designation on the barrel when chambered in .44 WCF 4440 Winchester. The Bisley 1895 model was the final Colt to wear the Frontier 6-shooter designation. The combination of a Colt Frontier 6-shooter revolver and the Winchester Model 1873 chambered in .44-40 WCF was one of the most common seen in the Old West, carried, for example, by the two mounted cowboys at the gunfight at the OK Corral. Notably, Winchester never undercut itself by offering the M1873 chambered for .45 Colt. After the frontier days of the West had passed, the Winchester Model 1892 arrived, which joined the Model 1873 in also being offered in alternative .38-40 and .32-20, 32 WCF calibers, allowing the same convenience of carrying a single round for both revolver and rifle. Why you should never sell it. Original models from the late 1800s fetch 5 or 6 figures. Even modern third-generation Colts hold serious value. Every cowboy film, every Western fantasy lives in this revolver. Smith & Wesson Model 686. Smith & Wesson L-frame revolvers are built to suit the demands of the most serious firearms enthusiast. Available in 6- and 7-shot cylinders, the L-frame has a strong, durable frame and barrel built for continuous magnum usage. As police officers and hunters will attest, this firearm is made to withstand heavy use. The 686 can trace its lineage back to 1981, making it not quite as elderly as other revolvers out there. It's basically the stainless version of 1980's blued Model 586. Smith & Wesson designed it to be a reliable, accurate gun that gets used, not a safe queen or casual pocket carry pistol. The 686 is meant to be used. The Smith & Wesson Model 686P is chambered in .357 Magnum, a cartridge we have Elmer Keith to thank for designing. My baby is the 686 Plus, a variant with a 7-round capacity and 4.125-inch barrel chambered in .357 Magnum. Sure, you could also run .38 Special through this revolver, but why skimp on oomph? Revolvers aren't like semi-autos. There is no external safety, no magazine release, and no slide lock on this DA/SSA bad boy, just the hammer and cylinder release, both checkered for smoother operation. Under 15 yards, it is possible to maintain a just barely single-hole 5-shot group firing the first shot DA and all other shots SA. That requires me to take my sweet time. Why you should never sell it. Stainless construction resists rust, perfect for carry, hunting, or home defense. Available in multiple barrel lengths. Extremely shootable with .38s and .357s. To Dan Wesson, Model 15. With a name like Wesson, you may as well shoot for the recognition that comes with it. Dan Wesson did exactly that when he started building guns back in the 1960s and 70s. The brand has since migrated under the control of Czech firearms giant CZ, along with another American brand Colt. But today, we are taking a look at a pistol from back, when Dan the man himself ran the brand. Today, we are reviewing the Dan Wesson Model 15.357 Magnum Revolver. Dan Wesson's Model 15 came to me as an 8-inch .357 Magnum, but one of the interesting features of the pistol is its ability to switch barrels. Nowadays, this is a common feature more and more manufacturers are incorporating to their designs. But this revolver comes from an entire generation ago, giving gun owners the ability to switch barrels themselves at home. Shooting the Dan Wesson Model 15 was as pleasant as you might imagine. I find older revolver designs to be an exercise in perfection. The design has been around for so long, you'd almost have to try to make it feel crummy. The smooth action of the Model 15 feel like quality workmanship from a time long past. The snap of the hammer clicking to the rear feels like it's on lubed bearings, and the cylinder rolling the cartridge into place as well. Both the double action and single action functions of the Model 15 were predictably clean. Pulling the hammer back with the trigger seems lighter than many other revolvers I've shot, and the single action break of the trigger is fantastic, like a glass rod being snapped. Why you should never sell it. Interchangeable barrel system. Swap lengths without a gunsmith. Super accurate, strong frames. Rare now. Price is rising as collectors catch on. 1 Korth revolvers. The Cor NXS exemplifies the pinnacle of German engineering combined with high capacity. Its modern design features a ventilated barrel shroud for enhanced cooling and striking aesthetics. The frame includes a Picatinny rail, offering the versatility to mount a scope or red dot sight. Remarkably, the NXS introduces Korth's first 8-shot cylinder, designed to accommodate moon clips for unparalleled reloading speed. Available with either a 4-ounce or 6-ounce hammer-forged precision barrel, the NXS integrates Picatinny rails on both the top and bottom, enhancing its adaptability. Since 1954, Korth has been synonymous with the world's finest revolvers, and the NXS continues this legacy. Its DLC finish ensures exceptional durability and complements the elegant Turkish walnut grips. The NXS features an adjustable rear sight paired with a 14K gold bead front sight for superior accuracy. For added versatility, it can be upgraded with an optional 9mm interchangeable cylinder. This revolver seamlessly blends functionality, durability, and aesthetic appeal, making it a standout choice for discerning enthusiasts. Price varies depending on barrel length. Fully adjustable rear sight, removable side panels on front sight single and double action trigger, Turkish walnut grip, integrated Picatinny rail in the frame, new style Korth cylinder release barrel. Housing, Wessor's integrated Picatinny's rail for scope, red dot, mount ventilated barrel housing for faster cooling, easy reload. Through wide swinging cylinder, including moon clip cut, optional. Interchangeable cylinder in 9mm moon clip cut. Why you should never sell it. Precision machined in Germany. Smoothest triggers in the revolver world. Used by elite units. Insanely expensive. Prices only go up. Reason for never sale. These revolvers aren't just weapons. They're history, craftsmanship, and legacy combined. Once sold, finding another in the same condition or value becomes near impossible. Many of these models appreciate in value year after year, making them not just family heirlooms, but serious investments. And there you have it, 10 revolvers that aren't just tools, they're history in your hands. Selling one might fill your wallet for a moment, but the loss echoes far longer. These aren't guns you simply replace at the store. Each scar, each mark, tells a story. Of lawmen and outlaws, of hunters and protectors, of craftsmanship that today's machines struggle to match. Whether it's a Colt Python silky trigger pull, the brute strength of a Ruger Redhawk, or the surgical precision of a Korth, these revolvers represent something bigger than price tags. Legacy. So before you hand one over across a counter or list it online, think twice. Some things, once gone, never come back. Hold on to yours, because someday it won't just be a revolver. It'll be a family heirloom, a collector's treasure, or maybe even the difference between a forgotten Kiste and a story worth telling.